Okay, this is part 3 of section 2.8. We are given a circle in general form, and we are supposed to find the center, the radius, and then do the graph. The hardest part of this is taking something in general form and switching it back into standard form so we can look at it and read off our center and our radius. Okay. Now, I mentioned earlier that what we have to do is we have to complete this square. And we're going to have to do this twice. Okay? Now, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to rearrange this. I'm going to get my x terms together. So I have x squared plus 8x. So I've used those two. Plus, I'm going to leave myself a blank here. Okay? Now I'm going to write down my y values, plus y squared plus 4y. So I've used those two. And again, I'm going to leave myself a blank. And then I'm going to move this 16 over to the right. So this equals negative 16. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat this like two completing the square problems. I'm going to complete the square here, and then whatever I add here, I add to the side. And also, I'm going to complete the square here, and then whatever gets added here gets added to the 16 on this side. Okay, so what we need to remember is that to complete the square, we have to find the quote-unquote magic number. Now, what does that mean? We take the number in front of our x, which is 8 in this case. We divide that by 2, or half it, which gives me a 4. And then we take that 4 and we square it to get 16. So what goes right here? Plus 16, and over here, plus 16. Sorry, I didn't leave myself a whole lot of room there. Okay, now for right here. I take the number in front of my y, which is a 4, divide that by 2 to get a 2, and then take this value and you square it to get 4. So here I add 4, here I add 4. Now if I've done this correctly, I should have a perfect square trinomial here plus a perfect square trinomial here equal to a number. Remember, if we've done this correctly, you get to take the square root of this. The square root of x squared is x. You write down the sign from right here. That's a plus, so this is a plus. And then you write down the square root of this, which is always what you had right here before you squared it. So I have x plus 4 squared. All of this factors as this. Plus, that's this same plus sign coming down right here. Now this part is also a perfect square trinomial. So we can factor this by taking the square root of y squared, which is y. This is a plus, so this is a plus. And then take the square root of this, which is 2 squared, is equal to. Now over here it's just arithmetic. Negative 16 plus 16 is 0. 0 plus 4 is 4. So we have taken something in general form, and we have rearranged things so that we have standard form. You should be able to multiply this all the way out, combine like terms, and end up right back here. Okay, so now that we have it in this form, we should read off our center and then our radius. Remember, to find the center, it's always the opposite signs. So your x-coordinate, this is plus 4, so your x-coordinate is negative 4. Your y-coordinate is negative 2. So the center of the circle is negative 4, negative 2. Okay. And then what is the radius? The radius comes from right here. The radius is the square root of 4, which is 2. So that means I need to go 2 away from the center in all the different directions. And then, so what do I do now? I draw the circle that best connects these. And I I'm done with that problem. I have the circle that represents my answer. Okay, now we're going to do one more of these. Again, in general form, we want to get this thing written in standard form so that we can find our center, our radius, and get the whole thing done. Okay, so I'm going to get my x's together. So that's x squared plus 12x, and I'll leave myself a space here to add my magic number, plus y squared minus 6y plus, find my magic number, and this is going to equal, I'm going to move the 36 over, so I have negative 36 right here. Okay, so let's figure out what goes right here. My number in front of my x is 12, so I divide that by 2 to get a 6, and then I take that 6 and I square it to get 36. So I add 36 here, add 36 here. Now for my y's, I take the 6 and divide it by 2 to get a 3. And then I take that 3 and I square it to get 9. So I'm going to add 9 to both sides. So x squared plus 12x plus 36, this is a perfect square trinomial. Square root of x squared is x. This is a plus sign, so this is a plus sign. The square root of 36 is 6. So I have x plus 6 squared plus, and again, you cannot lose that plus sign. This is that same plus sign. Now let's factor this. The square root of y squared is y. This is a minus, so this is a minus. The square root of 9 is 3. Squared is equal to negative 36 plus 36 is 0. 0 plus 9 is 9. Now, are these, you're always going to have things that cancel out here? No. It happens a lot just because of the way they design the problems, but it's not guaranteed. Okay, so what is my center? Well, it's opposite of this. This is plus 6, so my center is at negative 6. This is minus 3, so positive 3. So negative 6, positive 3, which is about right there. Okay, now what is the radius? The radius is the square root of 9, and the square root of 9 is 3. So from my center, I go out 3 units in every direction. And then connect these with a circle. And you just draw your picture as best you can. Your answer is every single point on this circle. Okay? And again, I should be able to take this and multiply it out and get back to where I started.